Let's take a couple minutes and explore the illumination settings on the DEH-X3700S. So from any source, we'll press in on the volume control to get to the menu, and we're going to roll over until we find the Illumination menu. Here it is, Illumination, and press Enter. We have a number of different settings here: color, dimmer settings, brightness, and illumination effects. We'll start off with the color setting, and we'll press in on the volume control to enter color settings. We can adjust both colors at the same time, which means both the display area and the hard key area, or we can adjust just the key color or just the display color. So let's start off with both colors at the same time first. We'll press Enter there, and we can choose a number of different preset colors to work with. We're going to go back here, and including this scan color. The scan color means it'll continuously scan through all available colors. We're going to roll back here to purple and press Enter. We can also adjust the individual colors like the key color or the display area. Let's just adjust the display area here. I'm going to press Enter. Right now it's set to purple. We can roll back here and choose a different color like green. Now if I want to get a very precise adjustment here, I can press and hold for a moment, and I bring up my RGB values. Here we have 0 red and 0 blue. It's all green. So let's add a little red in. Press Enter, move over to the green, and we'll back some of the green color out. Press Enter again, and we'll add in some blue. And you can see the color changing. So when you're happy with the color that you have there, you could write down 15, 42, and 24, and you could copy those exact colors to the key area if you wanted to. Once you're done making those adjustments, you can hit the band button to escape. So we'll press in on the volume control again, and go to our illumination menu, and we'll roll over this time to the dimmer settings. So we'll press Enter here. We have manual dimmer settings, sync with illumination, and sync with the clock. Let's start off with the manual illumination setting. Or the manual dimmer setting. So I'm going to press the band button to escape out of here. And right now the radio is at its full brightness. If I press and hold the go back button, that'll switch the dimmer on manually. And you can see that the brightness of the radio has dropped significantly. Maybe the brightness is too dim now, dimmer than I want it to be. So let's make an adjustment to the dimmer. I'm going to press in on the volume control and go back to my illumination menu and my dimmer, and we're going to roll over to the brightness setting here. Now I'm going to press in on this, and right now my brightness is set to 1. That's with the dimmer switched on. So I don't like that. I think it's too dim for me. I want to make the brightness 5 when the dimmer switches on. So that's where we have it set right now. So I'm going to hit the band button to escape. Remember, my dimmer is still on right now. If I press and hold the dimmer button, the dimmer turns off. The radio comes up to its full brightness. If I switch it on again, you'll see that it drops, dimmer turns on, and it drops down to setting number 5. That's pretty good for me. So for right now, we're going to switch that dimmer off again. And we're going to go back into our illumination menu. And let's go back to our dimmer settings. We were on manual. If we want to sync to illumination, we'll leave it here. If we want to synchronize to the clock, we'll use this one. And here, I can tell the dimmer to switch on at, right now it's set for 7:30 p.m. I can adjust that, make it a little earlier or a little later. Press in again and adjust the minutes by 10 minutes at a time. So we'll make the dimmer switch on at 9 p.m. Press Enter again, and the time that the dimmer switches off right now is at 6 a.m. We can make that a little later, maybe 7:30. And 7:30 in the morning is when the dimmer switches off, and that will automatically switch on and off based on the time of day. When you're done with that, we can hit the band button to go back one more time and roll over to our brightness setting. Here we'll press Enter. This is the overall brightness of the radio. Is set at 10. That's its highest level. It might be good for daylight, or it might be too bright for you. You can adjust this down a little bit. And again, if you want to adjust the dimmer setting, you do that with the dimmer turned on. Right now, this is the overall brightness of the radio. We'll go back out again. Roll over to our next setting, which is Illumination Effects. Illumination Effects right now are switched off. We can also have them switched on. You'll see the Illumination Effects when you insert a CD or eject a CD. The Illumination Effects also work when the system is turned on or off. This setting, Illumination Effects on or off, does not affect the startup or shutdown of the head unit.